Good morning guys and welcome to Beard Manners. Today I'm going to be talking to you about how to properly store your beard products. So what do we mean by properly store? It's got to that time of year in the UK, it's starting to warm up now, and you know, I'm sure I'm not the only brand owner that's getting this. This happens every summer. Every time it gets a bit hotter, we're starting to get people reach out about slightly melted down butters. They're the only products in my range that it happens to. There's no problems if it happens in other people's different ranges. It's all to do with mixes. We use the majority of soft core products. Oil is never going to melt down because it's a fully liquefied product already. In most cases, I'd imagine balms don't melt down, or waxes, because of the beeswax content in there, quite solid. It had to be a lot of heat for that. I mean, they can melt if you left them in a car park all day, then they would. Butters, on the other hand, you know, they're called butters for a reason. They've got that creamy sort of substance to it. In most cases, butters don't have wax in. I certainly wouldn't class it as a butter if it did have wax in. But butters do have an extremely low melting point. And again, that varies with the products and the range and everything else. Firstly, to say, you know, if you receive a product from us, if it is melted or grainy, I'd rather you reach out first, just in case it is a problem. If it's something that you've purchased, it has been fine, but it has then melted down. This is where it isn't a problem. It could just be down to where you're storing these products. Regardless of the melting points, in my opinion, it's always best to leave anything beard care in a cold, dark, dry place. Don't leave things on windowsills, particularly in bathrooms. Don't leave things in direct sunlight. Don't leave them in drawers that are in direct sunlight. Don't leave them in cars. You know, don't if you go away on holiday, put your wash bag tucked into your suitcase and then leave it out of the sun. You know, if you're going to go to a beach for the day, make sure that your butters are well wrapped in some cloth or clothing to keep them out of the sun. In most cases, I'd say just take an oil. Balms, again, they don't have quite the melting point, but you know, you still want to be keeping this stuff out of the sun because you don't want to risk it getting melted down. If it does get melted down, it doesn't destroy the product. This is the good thing with this. There's some things that might irk you a little bit, but let's stick with the butters because they're what melts down quickest. So if your butter was to melt down, the first thing to do is stick it in a fridge overnight, or to put it in a freezer for a few hours. Just let it get that to a cooler temperature and to reset. In nearly every case, what you will find is that when it resets, it's going to be slightly grainy. It might have some sort of almost solid lumps in it as you rub it down, but as you rub it down, they do melt down. So it doesn't feel as nice. As a manufacturer, as a product supplier, we wouldn't want you to receive our products in that form. We don't want them to get to that form, but it is just something that happens with butters if they're not kept in the right place. So like I say, if it does melt down, just put it somewhere to cool for a few hours. If it doesn't cool, just leave it a bit longer. As you go to rub it down, it might feel a different texture to what it was as you got it, because with us guys, we put them through different cooling processes to get them set so they're nice, so they look good and feel great. But it's not going to affect how it helps your beard. That's the thing to remember with it. If it feels grainy, if it feels a bit bitty, as long as you can rub it down and you can get it in your beard, then it's going to do the exact same job that it would do when it feels as good as new when you get it direct from us guys. So hopefully that helps a little bit. Like I say, I would keep your stuff in dark, cool places all year round personally. That's what I do with mine. Mine's never in sunlight. I always keep it somewhere safe. But like I say, it's just something that happens in the summer. A lot of guys have had beards a long time. I'm sure some of you can comment on this and, you know, vouch for this, that it does just happen sometimes. It isn't an issue. But for those of you that are a bit newer to this, particularly when you're trying your butters, it is something that can happen. Don't worry about it. Don't fret about it. Use what we've said to try and remedy it as best you can, and that should be fine. That was a nice short one today, guys. I hope you have a good day. I hope you're all enjoying the heat as much as I am. I'm going to have my coffee. I'm in the shop. You can see there's people outside. It's busy, so I'm going to get and do some work. Have a good weekend, and I'll catch you at the next video.